Welcome, welcome, welcome. We all gonna die Wednesdays. First question of the night is, how do we look? How do we sound?
Trying to get 25 square feet. I want 5 by 5, ladies and gentlemen. Can I hear it? Can I get it from the chat?
Let me know.
Anybody here with us? Is anybody here?
Oh yeah, we got a couple. We got a couple of viewers. I don't know if they're chatters, but
Ooh,
we got.
hold on, I got a notification.
Oh. Ooh.
Says here, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival is live now.
Could be.
Wouldn't you know it?
Could be.
Welcome everybody. We're doing 2 this week. This is We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Because we are, and you can't deny it. So here
I
we are.
I asked, and y'all said, yes, we all gonna die Wednesdays. So here we are. We all gonna die. It's Wednesday. 5 by 5. Thank you very much, AJ Andrews, Angry Homesteader. Hello, Silly Lily Sally's K. 5 by 5. Terry Johnson, what's happening? Bitter Critter in the house. Jason and VA, Rapture ready. What's up, everybody?
So this is totally your idea. So what's up? What's this We All Gonna Die shit?
Well, I figured.
Besides the obvious.
You know, the doom and gloom that everybody is hitting everybody with. It's like, we all gonna fucking die. Every goddamn day, we all gonna die. Prepping by faith, how are you? But that's it, man. Doom and gloom. That's what's on the menu. Or is it?
What?
Or is the doom and gloom on the menu? We get smashed with the we all gonna die shit every single day. So, why not spoof on these motherfuckers tonight, huh? How about let's have some fun. Let's have some fun.
You know what happens is
we're gonna find some we all gonna die videos and we're gonna debunk them. How about that?
And we're back.
Ah, man, he cut me off mid-sentence, got me jamming out, and then the music cuts out.
You gotta know when those clips end.
I don't have them all memorized yet, but yes, hashtag Operation Pocketbook. Yes.
All one word, no space, no caps.
Correct. Otherwise, hashtags don't work.
Oh, it's just a hashtag operation. People be like,
Bob Dunn in the house. What's happening, my
man,
brother?
Old school. What did it do, Bob? How are you?
Yeah, man. So, yeah, we, let's spoof on some folks. Red alert.
Red alert, the Livingston Man is, because, people in general do shit that I don't like, and I'm not afraid to be like, how dare you? So, I mean, the first thing is like people, influencers, I don't even want to call out preppers, but conservatives especially. They're like, they'd be shadow banning me and look, see, they're doing to me.
All the time.
And it's like, as they stand there on YouTube to an audience of 300 people, they're like, look, nobody's letting me speak my message. And it's kind of funny sometimes.
But yes, it's true. So it's not so much the cutting everybody off that really irks me. It's the restricting of the information. They suppress it. They suppress everybody's shit, right? They suppress it like crazy. And I am currently a victim of that on Instagram. They didn't like something I posted. See, there they are again. They didn't like something that I posted, and now they have shuffled me to the bottom of the stack. And Mickwick fire starters, they can tell you, they've seen it. Every time they try to share my content, they get a little notification that says, This account repeatedly posts misinformation. Are you sure you want to post this? Do you
it's
really
like
want to be
honor,
associated with this?
This extremism, I heard it called.
That's some bullshit.
Did you just say?
That's some bullshit. See what happens? You start talking. Walter Barger Sr. says they're not coming, they're already here. And how correct you are, my friend. They are.
I've been here the whole time, sir. Thank you.
Sean Stan, you just got a message. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad the word is getting out. It's we all gonna die Wednesday.
All gonna die Wednesday. Now, what it sounds like is almost like this morbid celebration, like some of the Addams family would do. Like,
yeah,
we're all gonna die Wednesday. It's like that last party, like a hurricane party. I think Florida people call it.
That's right. That's right. You got to have hurricane parties in Florida, right? That's the first thing that sells out down there is the beer, right?
You got to stay prepared,
and
my
plywood,
friend.
Beer and plywood, and then it's all over.
Prep up, everybody.
That's right.
They're coming here.
Get your beer and plywood.
I've been saying for a minute, we all gonna die is soon. And if you're from upstate New York in the area that I'm from, and Mike is sort of from, kind of thing, it ain't rained here enough in forever.
Correct.
When it's going to, and when it does, it is going to be catastrophic.
Sure.
So it's sort of a paradox where what we need is what is going to really fuck shit up.
Potentially.
Trees are going to fall, floods, like canyons, bridges are going to wash out, like flash flooding is going to be ridiculous. Remember when Irene came through?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was.
Well, they took out Prattsville, God bless.
Yeah, I mean,
Dubai,
there was a lot of damage.
It made cement, like DOT style cement and steel bridges, like disappeared. Like they didn't find the parts for them. Like this shit just went downhill somewhere.
It's gone.
You know, like it really ruined a lot of shit.
Yeah, water.
And that's going to happen again.
Water
but what
is
it did,
incredibly powerful.
Borderline unstoppable. Besides ice, which is also water. But what it did is it filled all the ponds, restored the water table, and did all the stuff that we needed it to do.
Yeah.
But utterly.
But that was what they called a 500-year flood. Right.
But now, like,
something that happens once every 500 years.
Yeah. Now let's call that 100 years.
And then I think we had another flood. Another what was it? 100-year flood right after that. I think we had like 3 of them in a row. So. They don't necessarily stay true to the 500-year cycles. You know, whenever Mother Nature gets pissed off, she's gonna and give it to you.
They can guess at this sort of stuff from the geological record. They can look at the waves of sand in the dirt and figure out what happened here, but they can't predict the future.
No.
They can tell you what happened in the past. So there's a difference.
Correct. And you know, we're still coming out of an ice age.
Still in it.
Right.
It's actually called the current ice age.
So global warming is really a thing. And it's still, warming. Still warming, right? We're coming out of an ice age, guys. Eventually all the glaciers are going to melt, and that's just the natural cycle of the Earth.
It is the typical state of our planet, and that's how it existed for hundreds of millions of years. When the dinosaurs roamed the Earth,
it was a tropical paradise.
There were no polar ice caps. The sea levels were higher, but also the continents were all connected. So it was different.
Pangea, they call that.
Sea level rise will be a thing. Inevitably. But you can, okay, I'll give you. Man has accelerated the process. Man cannot hope to stop it.
Oh, no. There's nothing that we're going to do that's going to slow down Mother Nature. She's going to do her thing.
If we had never accelerated it, it would happen anyway.
Correct. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Maybe it happens a little bit faster because, we breathe all the air, bro.
That's what they want. That's what I'd be giving them off all day.
That's why we have to eat the bugs. Angry Homesteader 2, thank you so much. Definitely smash that like button. Oh, we got somebody calling in.
Calling in? How do you answer?
Somebody calling in. No. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Hey, I'll call you back. Sorry. And they're here. Pangea, no, President Snow is coming. May the odds ever be in your favor. Color by crayons. May the odds ever be in your favor.
Greta Thunberg, she started this whole thing when she decided she wasn't going to go to school. And all of a sudden, the earth started getting hotter. The storms started getting more intense. And I'm just, why are we not questioning it?
Correct. Oh, Tony Gotts. Yes. Full spectrum survival. That is we all gonna die. Full spectrum survival,
like, to me, all right, so the most horrifying scenario in like survival, like reading the survival manual, right? Like came up on, I had not only the one everybody's got, the U.S. Army survival manual, there's the 76 edition. And I was lucky enough to be granted with a 2002 edition, actually.
Ooh, very nice.
It had markings on it that implied I wasn't actually supposed to have it. But I had picked it up at a dubious place in the back of someone's car in a McDonald's parking lot one dark late night. And I had read this book, and what was interesting to me is I found, of all the scenarios they listed in the book, and there's plenty, the one I thought would be the scariest was to like be shuttled into, I'll call it New York City.
Okay.
You have like the shit in your pockets and you just get dropped off.
In the city?
Yep. And there you go. You're there now. Good luck. That was terrifying to me. I feel like I'd rather be dropped out of like at the middle of the ocean. I feel like I know better what to do than be surrounded by millions of people.
Well, are we talking
look at me and just won't help me?
Austere environment they're dropping you in the middle of the city?
No, in the middle of the fucking city. Like,
yeah. But I mean, it's a hostile environment, obviously.
I don't want to call out the city as being hostile, but I figure.
Well, if it was normal average every day and I was dropped with this stuff in my pockets, I feel like I could get home pretty easy.
Without your money, your weapons, or anything.
Okay. So empty pockets.
Right.
Empty pockets.
Like you bail out of the plane. Like I feel like if I got fucked in a forest somewhere, I kind of know what to do. Like there's rabbits and fucking mushrooms and shit to eat. But imagine being dropped in the middle of a major metropolitan area where they just look at you like you're homeless. They won't help you. They burn the food rather than let you forage for it.
Yep.
All the trappings that come with that. I am terrified of an urban survival scenario.
Sure.
Now, everyone that is perhaps from a metropolitan area is like, and I'm like, well, because I don't live there, and that's funny.
True.
So,
y'all
are much better suited to that.
Stealing a bike and pedaling to the water. Amen, Jay Creature. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of there as fast as humanly possible.
Now, I didn't elaborate, but I mean, my scenario involves like alone. Yeah. Like you just dropped into the city, you're stuck there, and you have nothing, I can imagine. Like just what you have in your pockets. And we're going to go ahead and assume your bank account's empty. You ain't got no charge.
Sure.
You fucked up.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, what's everybody's like worst case survival? The one that actually scares you, the one you would really not want to do.
What is it that freaks you out? What's the one thing that you don't want to be in? Livingston man needs to go full trash panda.
I'm not foraging in no dumpster. I'm walking in the front door. And I can make a scene or I can get fed, and they have one choice.
So what is it going to be, guys? What's your scariest scenario? Jumping on angry prepper's back and hanging on. That's truth, Crayons.
He's an absolute juggernaut. I've seen him do it. He can take 3 average preppers and carry them like through hell. And so nobody's like afraid, and that's good.
Theresa, she lives in a large city and knows how to survive. Excellent. Sunset, greetings from Hudson Valley, New York. Greetings from Hudson Valley, New York.
I forget that they're a little bit behind us here.
Correct. Angry mobs, says Greenleaf. That's a good one. Angry mobs. EMT, do you mean EMP, old mutt? EMP?
He's like, no, those paramedics charge you too much goddamn money when they show up.
That's right. Running out of coffee, says Outlaw Jackson. That could be a big problem for
That's when reasonable men become unreasonable. It's when you run out of coffee.
Yeah, when there's no coffee left.
All right, we about to go do it to them. They got coffee and we want it, so let's get
Bitter Critter. His wife and him are literally drinking PBR and listening right now. And I do believe it's your wife's birthday today, Bitter Critter. So happy birthday to the missus.
Happy birthday to you.
Yep. Grid down nationwide, says Bill P. That's, yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if it's, a cyber attack and it's not the big bad EMP that takes everything out, just a cyber attack that destroys the everyday power grid, that can really fuck things up.
Let's focus in the question because I'm here because the EMP people are going to come out. I'm talking about like a biome in nature. You can get dropped off in a desert, a forest, a jungle, a city, or the Arctic. And for whatever reason, I have given you this one choice. What are you going to take?
I would have to go with the city. I would have to go with the city because I'm not a jungle kind of guy. You know what I mean? At least I know what kind of dangers I'm facing in the city. I'd rather go with...
Do you? You ever seen the city?
Yeah.
Go ahead and ride the subway. You see, I know what I think.
Yeah.
No, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Until there's this guy over here doing that shit. You're like, I'd never in my life.
So Outlaw says nuclear or power out. Agreed.
I'm going to come right out and be like, forest.
The city.
So all my forest people throw it up.
Yep. Bitter says the city. Greenleaf says the forest. Yeah. I mean, there's benefits to all the above. The forest wouldn't be my last choice. It'd definitely be my second. But I feel like I could get out of a city faster. Jay Creature says his biggest fear is the power goes down. He does a full raid on Sam's Club and later find out it was only isolated to my town and he spends the next 30 years in prison. Yeah, that would suck.
That last sentence is your problem. All my forest people throw it up. I guess if you wanted that's a
Poor
level.
Country Living says I die in the city. I think we're a little more resourceful than that, guys. You got to give yourself more credit than that.
You want to learn how to prep? I dare you to go live with like the New York City homeless, and I hate to call them that, but
yeah.
Or there's like these legends of like mole people. Have you ever heard of this stuff?
The ones that live underground.
I read this book by a woman named Jennifer Toth, and I think it's called The Mole People. And it's a investigative journalism piece. I'm going to come right out and say that some of her anecdotes in it are embellished.
Okay.
And she protects identities in some cases.
Sure.
So you're reading like the poetic truth of what happened, but the fact remains that these folks have made communities. They have underground, literally underground, in abandoned train tunnels. They have schools, functioning societies. They hold elections for leadership.
Interesting.
They have special people that deal with like the upper world and bring things home and back for them, and while everybody else is sheltered from it and away from it. And the NYPD and the MTA have for years declared that this is not a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. Jackson said the tunnel people.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, happy birthday on Monday, Bob Dunn. Happy birthday, my friend. Prepping by Faith says her biggest fear are ruthless gangs like MS-13. Yeah, that's a very scary thought. And I think some of those gangs will put their differences aside in the cities to form larger gangs and get the job done in their area. Don't underestimate them. Don't underestimate them. Eric Hale, how are you? Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Good evening, guys. Alabama here. Deuce of Cups. Welcome. Teresa says, poor people know how to survive better than anyone else. You're absolutely right. They get by with basically nothing. No money, no nothing. Whatever they panhandle for, I guess. Or whatever, handouts they get from their local municipalities.
So you gotta go trash panda, like that guy said. Like, just fucking rock out in the dumpster.
Trash panda.
No, I say just walk through the front door and start taking bagels off the shelf.
Put your Philly Gilly on and get shit done.
Call the cops while I eat this bagel. Who survived? Like, I'll find out when the cops get here.
It's true. It's true.
But
yeah, we all gonna die. We all gonna die. How about? All right. How about?
That was my take on like survival biomes. I would not. I would go farther away from a city. I feel like it would become a cesspool. Sodom and Gomorrah would start to occur.
Oh yeah.
And Sin City, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
And so I'd be, it sounds like fun at first, folks, but that's that 3-day party you go to, and you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Well, I think it would take you an awful long time to walk out of the city. I think Jay Creature's idea early on of, grab a bicycle, hit the water, and be out.
Well, I think civic control, like when it comes to like government forces, like trying to secure things in the event of a catastrophe, cities are going to be the first things to be locked down, controlled, and like start shuffling people around like cattle, quite literally. You think you're going to walk out of the city? Okay, that's fun. Where are you going? Son, where are you coming from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Jay Creature, I think you're right, man. I think you're right. I think to a lot of law enforcement officers, it's just a paycheck. I think you will have your diehard folks who are going to respond no matter what, because that's their moral character. And I think you're right. I think the local municipalities are going to put on their civilian clothes and go home to their families when things get really bad. They're going to abandon ship, and that paycheck don't mean shit anymore. So
one of the first bitter critter, one of the first things a collapsing society does is free the prisoners. And they tend to want to coerce them to fight for the government.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a thing, but that's like, you read about that, they did that in Ukraine and in certain places.
Yep.
But historically, that's almost like a terror tactic, as well as they would call them penal battalions.
Okay.
Like, it's you either die or earn your freedom type of shit. These can be dangerous soldiers, but extremely unprofessional and are prone to committing atrocities, raider mentality.
Right.
So that historically, this is what you get with.
Yeah. Well, they did that in World War II.
Sure.
Right?
There's plenty of examples. Everybody did that.
The Waffen SS.
Right?
They were
elements
psychopaths
of them,
and criminals. And they were just sent out to, just wreak havoc.
Wreak havoc, exactly.
Yeah.
The Russians did it as well. There's probably examples of the United States doing it, although I can't point to one off the top of my head, but I wouldn't put it past us.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Pepper Prepper, how are you?
Both of those. Penis Battalion.
Mountaintop, says Tony.
Will there be foreign boots on the ground here? No. That old maxim holds true. There are too many fucking guns in America. And if you really want to galvanize everyone against you, try and invade America. You will see the Bloods and the Crips shake hands. You will see the liberals and the fucking Republicans shake hands. You are not physically invading the United States. It's not a thing. It's easier to watch it collapse.
400 million firearms in the hands of civilians in the United States of America. There ain't enough blades of grass. We hide them behind the trees and the rocks and the shrubs.
You just, in my opinion, you just can't. And there's also no breaking our will. We're going to hit you with terrorist attacks. That shit's only proved to make us even more bigoted and racist towards foreigners than we already were to begin with. America's the greatest country on earth. Go fuck yourself, everybody, with all due respect.
Well.
For our overseas channel.
Did you just Ricky Bobby, everybody?
Well,
I think he did.
As a red-blooded Cold War born American.
With all due respect means I can say anything.
We live in the greatest country on earth. If you live in America, you are the 1%.
Correct.
Never forget that.
That's right. So when they talk about the 1%, remember, that's us, all of us. Marilyn Parmentier, welcome, welcome, welcome. Dragon Slayer in the house. GSP in the house. Roger McKinnon says the Dirty Dozen comes to mind. Amen. The Watchman says no water is worse. Faith, Hope, and Charities Homestead. What's happening, sister? How are you? Let's see. Hey, Farmer Son Prepping. How are you?
Now, how about where are we all gonna die? Like, where are y'all from? And is it like mad hotter there than usual? Because there's a severe lack of water in some parts of the country. Now, this always happens.
Of course.
Some parts are flooded and underwater, and other parts are like, we could really use some rain. But then you look at the whole world, and there's wildfires and droughts and rivers drying up everywhere.
Yes.
It's not looking good. But here's why. Agriculture. You have to water crops or you can't grow them.
Correct.
And you have to get the water from somewhere. When your base core, where you're getting your water from is drying up. Like you got to have ice and snow melting out of mountains to feed rivers and do the thing and go into the floodplains and make its way to the ocean. And when you're not getting this, are we looking at like planet Earth is about to turn into like Mars or Venus or something before our eyes?
Could be. Could be. Could be all the water's drying up.
Am I being a climate change alarmist?
Who knows?
Probably.
111 today, says Brett. Holy shit, bro.
I try to remember when I was a kid, and I'm like, do I remember it being 100 degrees? And I think I'm going to go with maybe there was one time before I was 35 years old that it was 100 degrees, and it was a big fucking deal. Now, the Hudson Valley is like...
Yeah, pushing a lot of high 90s.
We go from, it can get to negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit here to 115 degrees Fahrenheit here. We have like a super wide temperature range. And we have everything except volcanoes and earthquakes, basically.
Well, we actually have been having some earthquakes recently.
There was that earthquake. And I didn't feel it. I was on a roof. So it jiggled, but we just thought it was us.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
while you're up there on the roof. Yeah, man, it's super dry here, Jay Creature. Same thing on this side of the river, man. All those storms that come across just seem to miss us. We got hit with one or two the other day, thank goodness. But man, it's been brutal. It's been brutal.
Now, all you conservatives can bitch and cry every time it's look, global warming, look, it snowed. Right, but when it's 118 degrees in like Hudson, New York, dude. I don't remember this. And then like you get these years without a winter where it was like, wow, it was like 50 degrees all winter. It like basically rained or it was slush.
Yep. See, yeah, somebody brought up the point that winter is not coming this year. Oh, we're getting all kinds of calls tonight.
Sorry, we had a slight interruption there, but it's not a big deal.
New Jersey just had 2 earthquakes on Tuesday. That's scary shit, man. That's scary shit.
The Hudson Valley and New Jersey, anyone connected to the Hudson Valley and the canyon at the end of it that extends into the ocean that we don't know too much about, we're subject earthquakes not from tectonic activity where the plates rub together,
right?
But instead it's called isostatic rebound. It's from the weight of the ice was weighing down.
Right. And pushed.
And now that it's moving and gone, the Earth is...
We're still springing back up.
Right, and so even the Adirondacks is prone to like slight level 3 earthquakes in some cases.
Right.
Landslides, this, that, the other thing, because it's bouncing back because that weight doesn't sit on top of it anymore.
I can just buy water at the store, says Outlaw Jackson.
That's the spirit.
So my first sign that
why don't you guys just embrace the fact that like just go to the store
and buy water? Yeah.
Like you're out here like pumping water out of puddles and shit with filters, and I'm like, there's bottles to be had. And you know what I figured
right
out?
At the store.
I did some math, right? That's different, but okay. So I had like this, store brand water. I got the big flat of the water. It was like $5 for 24 of them. I did the math, and I figured out basically that they're not charging me for the water.
They're charging you for the bottles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
the packaging, the shipping, all the above.
There's that. So if nothing else, folks, if you go and buy a couple flats of water, you get those bottles, and those might come in handy later.
If you get room to store them all.
You already had room to store them while you bought them.
Well, yeah, but
I
you buy them in that big a bulk? I mean...
24 bottles? What? Is that bulk? Dude, I drink that like,
Yeah, but then you have to save the bottles. And then you're going to buy another 24, and then you got to save the bottles.
What you should
eventually you become a bottle hoarder, Livingston, man. That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, but when you got to fill up some water, you got like...
containers galore.
Oh, what else you're going to do? You're just going to drink right out the stream? You got to store your water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big thing, and I think that's one of the big things that preppers lack in is water storage, and we take for granted that that faucet is always going to work.
Don't start about HAARP.
Until
I
it
was about to
doesn't.
start telling you what that really is. The High Altitude Auroral Research Project.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
interesting.
There's Jay Creature. See, he was instrumental, most likely, with its inception and
Yeah, implementation.
deployment.
Yeah, correct.
because he was there.
He was communicating
Jointly
deeply submerged
It
submarines.
was jointly funded by Jay Creature and a bunch of shady motherfuckers. That's what he meant to say. What he didn't say.
I heard about the Chinese drone getting shot at. That's man, every day, guys, we get a little closer to we all gonna die.
Red alert! They're in China is in type. Sorry, I can't. They won't talk about it.
I saw Jay Creature. I believe it steers things. It's I believe what it really is an ionospheric heater. Correct? Right? It puts a bubble in the ionosphere.
It's that's exactly what it does. And what they were attempting with it, you can possibly point at like that's how the hole in the ozone layer really got there.
Oh yeah.
But it had to do with making over the horizon radars work better to detect incoming ICBMs. They were trying to learn how to bounce signals off the ionosphere to that's how over the horizon radars and stuff work. Is like you're here, curve of the Earth is in between you and what you're shooting at. So you shoot up here and then bounce it back down. That's what HAARP's stated intent is. But the fact that it heats the ionosphere and has all sorts of perhaps unknown side effects lends credence to what he says, and that it. I have said that the government can control the weather, but they don't know how to do it. Like they're like, when we push buttons, it does the thing, but they don't actually are not good at it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know how the hell you try and control Mother Nature, man. She's one powerful
heat and cold.
chick.
When you can heat the air and heat or cool the air, you can form weather. Like I feel like I am not an expert on this, and I don't know, but I'm straight guessing that that's the basic premise.
I've seen some wild stuff on YouTube with like weather manipulation, I guess you'd call it.
It's been done for years, since the 60s.
I've seen wildfires rage after there's a strange anomaly on a radar signature. I've seen a lot of stuff, man, and I pay attention. I file it in the memory banks.
Well, even like earthquakes and again plates like colliding together can form lightning and what they call earthquake lights.
Yep. Hey, Lori Q, how are you? Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
So back to let's go with everybody wants to go to the city because it's probably easier.
There was a good breakdown.
But people don't know how to save water. So here was my thing with a place like the city is water. Because it's going to be that the only people that have it are going to be selling it.
So if you are a city prepper and you don't have yourself a Silcock key, especially like a 4 or 6 or 8-way Silcock key.
We're talking about burglary tools here, just to be clear.
Well, yeah, because what you're going to do is you're going to steal some water.
The gas mains, all this. You can, that.
Well, Silcock key. Silcock key can open the little brass door that has the tap in it, and the tap will have another screw in it that you'll need the Silcock key for. And if you're smart and you have good water filtration, you can get by with water in the city.
Okay.
As long as it's still raining.
Now, do you know where the city's water comes from? I know Hunter 215 or whatever his fucking name is does. You know where the city's water comes from?
Oh yeah, I know exactly where the city's water comes from.
And it requires a significant effort and a even more significant infrastructure to make that work. In the event of a catastrophe, that doesn't work. The city doesn't have that upland fresh water that actually comes from here.
Correct. And
flows through gravity, through aqueducts, not too dissimilar from what the Romans used, and feeds New York City with its fresh water supply. If you're from the city and you thought they pump your water out of the ocean, you were ass wrong, dude. It runs in these huge, like 3-4 story pipes.
Tunnels, correct.
Tunnels, you might as well call them, from upstate reservoirs in the Catskills and the Adirondacks.
And they're currently drilling new ones. I don't believe they're finished yet, but they were drilling, I think, a couple of new ones because, the city doesn't get enough water as it is.
So I have been in my career a bit critical of city people in general, especially their tendency to migrate here.
Mm-hmm.
Emigrate here, not immigrate, emigrate. They leave there, they come here. Then they make here, there, and then they leave again. It's annoying. But I had said once that as an upstate New Yorker, it's your duty to find one of these reservoirs and go take a dump in it. Never let them forget where your water comes from.
You do that. My water comes from the faucet. My man, GSP.
They're right.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. Prepping by Faith says she'd be more concerned about backed up sewage. Now,
you're going to get them both. If the water doesn't run, you get them both at once.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a problem in the cities. Folks who have septic systems and wells, you've got a chance. But yeah, I think you got to, in the forest, you're kind of limited to water sources, right? For water, you have to find a pond, a lake, a stream. And
pull up to your nearest New York City water source, and I don't care what it is. And without a Grail or a Sawyer or whatever, you're not drinking that. It's not fresh. No, it's got hypodermic needles and AIDS and every other fucking thing in it. All right? Gross.
It's true. It's true. Charlie Alpha Tango, how are you tonight? Welcome, welcome, welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. So who else is pumping the fear, guys? You see it every day. Who else is pushing it? Let's call somebody else out on the fear mongering. There's that dude who lives north of the border in like Western Canada. Yeah, he did. We all died multiple Wednesdays ago. If we were listening to him, so it already went down 53,000 times.
His message does sell a lot of products, though.
Yeah.
You start to wonder if perhaps
there isn't an agenda here.
Well, maybe I'll just question that guy's motivation because he's clearly good for him. Oh, maybe because I don't even know this.
Get those loonies and toonies, bro. Get them while you can.
I know what you're talking about, and I watched like 2 of his videos, and I was like, "Fuck this guy!" Not because of like his message, but just I wasn't into his personality, and I quickly picked up that I was like, "This guy's got money and is clearly like doing well." So if he built that, doing what he's doing, okay, one thing.
Yeah.
But I often find that people that are like that, like they got a good push, like they got a great deal. And then his motivation in my opinion, has seemed to be steering more towards like selling products.
So I used to watch my dude when he was more of a gear review kind of channel. And I really got into his channel back then. And it has definitely evolved since the whole pandemic, we'll say. And Three Dogs right, man. Fear sells. And that's why we all gonna die Wednesday. Right?
Died for a second there. I'm back, though.
Oh, man. Still better than FSS. GSP. Everything CP puts out is very well made.
Who?
CP, we'll call him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, CP. Everything
that
he
means
puts
something
out is
different, right?
Everything he puts out is very well made.
Mr. Cheese Pizza himself. Okay.
He's got I don't know if he has a team of people that do all that.
He's got to. That's the other thing. Like, there is no behind the scenes of Hudson Valley Prep and Survival. You're looking at it. Along with our good friends, of course, Outlaw Jackson, the Militant Farmer, 3 Dog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But as a general rule, like Mike is not paying some fucking guy like millions of fucking dollars essentially to edit his videos and make the shit look like Hollywood.
Or film them.
He gets to stand there and be Bob Barker and fucking get given free shit.
You see it all right here.
Act like, here, I'm trying to help you guys. This motherfucker trying to help himself is what's happening. I went too far, but too late.
Let it rip, man. Let it rip.
Got him.
Let it rip.
Got him.
Let it rip.
We all gonna die.
There's so
he who shall not be named, Tracy.
many. Now, some people do it with the best interest at heart. They really just want to inform you. A lot of people are just trying to push a good message, and you can kind of decipher who's really in it for the clicks and who's really trying to get a message across. You can make anything sound fucking scary nowadays, guys. Anything. Anything.
You ever read the news? I mean,
yeah,
geez.
Everything's terrifying, right? I mean, that's just the fucking way it goes.
Well, then the article isn't even what the headline said. They're like 3 fucking people dead and fucking some shit. And then you're like, wow, they all had heart attacks. That was weird. Like, no, I thought. Aliens. I thought he said an alien invasion. I was like, that's way worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather deal with the aliens.
Imagine you got like fucking just old mutts coming off the ship, like, and you can't stop them, like swinging 20-pound sledgehammers, pulling shit out of survival tubes.
I tell you what,
unstoppable.
I would not want to tussle with old mutt. He whooped my ass. I said it.
We all gonna die. What's the other thing hanging over all of our heads? Of course, is crippling tax debt. Congratulations to Americans who work and pay taxes.
Yep. Gotta love it.
Due to the Democrats' efforts, and they were strong, we have secured a higher standard of living for people in a higher tax and pay bracket than you on your labor and on the back of your paycheck. And this is a monumental step forward for the rich and elite that control the country and their younglings that they hope support them, while trampling all over the actual working class that is like, we're tired of paying like everyone else's bills but our own.
Yeah.
They want to talk about debt, but they like overlook the fact that like some of us motherfuckers work mad hours and accrue poverty wages. And then they're like, you're on the bill for this. Now, this student debt relief thing. They're like, I'm towing the line here. I got, I'm walking the fence here. What actually happened to me is I fell on, when the dude falls, like when he's skateboarding, he gets it right to the balls, like the railing comes up, like.
That's
blah.
the fence.
That's how I'm on it. Because I'm like, first of all, there should be no debt for an education. There should be a system in place here where you are, fucking guaranteed that a placement in a job related to the career choice that you chose through higher education.
Okay.
All right. Because we pay all these taxes. And it goes to everything but our own well-being as Americans, not as rich, as poor, as this, as that. The rich are not feeding off the government, maybe a little bit through tax breaks and stuff.
Sure.
They're buying their own shit and they're doing their own thing. But they're living large and it's great because of their cozy relationship or however it works.
Absolutely.
But the people that actually make the world go round, constantly shit on, treated like less than.
Yeah, and we're struggling.
And are forced to foot the bill. And in the case of this student debt forgiveness thing, these are people that earned degrees to be doctors and lawyers. These are people that are earning up to $125,000 a year. You're making more money than me. And now you're telling me I'm on the hook for your debt when what you're making is not boiling down to me, but instead what I'm making is boiling up to you. Now we have introduced the concept of the trickle up effect, where they were like, what if we just flip that around? If they just piss up at us, we'll catch it and keep it. This has gone too far. And whoever's behind this is completely out of touch, completely insane, and it is completely unsustainable.
Yeah, and unrealistic.
Thank you. Fuck you if you didn't understand what I meant.
It's true. It's true. Marine's daughter, I heard the meow alarm as well. I'm not sure which one it was, but he's a loud guy tonight.
We got a singer. One of my cats is he's a singer.
He's a singer. He's
Sorry
a singer
about the
in a
fire,
rock
you
and
guys.
roll band. Roaming Prepper, what's happening? Rip Curl, thank you, my friend. Keep spreading that message. Hashtag Operation Pocketbook. No space. One word, all lowercase. Hashtag Operation Pocketbook. It's like Hudson Valley prepping and survival. Like real freaking long, right?
What you want to do is copy and paste that sucker once you type it out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean to come out and say, because I also will laugh at conservatives who are like, you took out your loan and paid it back. I'm like, and your grandmother walked to school in the snow, so you should too. But so I don't agree with the I suffered, so you should too. That progress means that we learn from this. In the same way that we say, I want better for my kids than I had. Not, my kids are going to deal with the same shit that I had. No, we're not supposed to do that. Am I wrong?
No.
Without giving handouts and free shit that people don't deserve, and that's a real question, is who deserves what. I'm not going to get into it, I don't have time. But in that regard, I am on, like I said, the fence post came right up and got me in the nuts on this one. I'm like, you put me on the hook for somebody else's debt. A debt that I think shouldn't exist.
Correct.
So I blame the system, not the debtor.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, people were sold one. Right out of high school, your guidance counselor was like, you're going to go to college. You're going to do this. You're going to do that.
Here's my Livingston Man hot take that nobody asked for.
Bring it.
Higher education's been hijacked by money-hungry individuals.
For profit now.
Absolutely. It's not for your betterment. It's for profit. The best thing I think you could get going for you now is the low cost of the actual state-funded colleges. That's where you can get a decent education at a affordable price. If you're going to a university, you're probably going to wipe your ass with that degree. No offense. But
I see talk about trade schools, and this is the option here because a lot of people that go to trade school don't have these kind of problems. But they don't have the degree, but they're on the hook to pay for the ones that do.
Charlie Alpha Tango, you're right. It's not just higher education. It starts in elementary school. You know, it starts in the the state-funded pre-K that we got now.
They put a huge emphasis on you have to go to college. You need a degree.
I honestly feel that we need to.
So we told these kids to do this, and then when they did it, we're like assholes.
Schools are publicly funded, right? But they are state-run institutions. Herein lies the problem.
That's what you get when you put the word free on things. Yeah, public school is free, but free is what that means is paid for.
So we already pay for the schools through school taxes and stuff like that. Could you imagine what we could accomplish if we could just take the money away from the state and pay the schools directly ourselves?
So private schools.
Well, isn't that what we do already?
What if...
Shouldn't all schools be private?
Well, then what happens when this school is teaching the thing and this school is teaching the thing and that school is teaching the thing? And
Well, what you'll end up with
who controls
is
the curriculum at all, if there is a control
well, obviously that should be decided by the people in that particular district. It should all be brought to a vote and people can make decisions for themselves. We don't need the state to do it for us.
Granite State Prepper, I'll tell you a funny thing about the roads.
They should be paved in gold for all the fucking taxes that we pay.
Around here, in the place that we're from, Columbia County, used to be the Livingston Manor. Okay, Homeboy owned the whole thing. It was the farm, right? And they brought over homesteaders from overseas, and you were given like an acre or two, whatever. It was your responsibility to clear it and build a road through it. And so the bigger plot of land you had, the more roads you had to clear. Like some of the biggest people who had to plow miles and miles of roads were named Livingston, because they own the most land. But then what they started to do is to cross their land, you'd have to pay a toll. Like,
Ooh.
and then
toll booth.
And so they did this a lot, to the point that the state had to step in and privatize the roads because you couldn't cross like the town without losing all your money trying to cross everyone's borders. So that's why we have right of ways and the road system we at the end of the day have now.
Right. Dragon Slayer says federally run. The Department of Ed is federally run, correct. And then they kind of delegate to the state Department of Education. So it's all that trickle-down government bullshit. And I bet you we pay those folks at the Department of Ed a shitload of money.
I don't disagree with a basic education.
Right.
You're reading, writing, arithmetic, okay? At about fucking like 4th or 5th grade is where we should start to be able to specialize and steer people into what they're good at. Instead of just saying that everyone has, this is not the military.
No, but it's run like one.
Right, where it's just they cram home a basic education that for most of everyone will tell you for the most part that like I never used algebra in my fucking life, and for the love of God, most of us don't. But you had to pass it, which I get. But here's where we should have specialized before that even happened. This person is not going to do that.
Some people are definitely destined for different paths, you know. And have gifts to certain things. And not everybody fits in that box, man.
Right, and stop trying.
And they're going to cram you in the freaking box. Cram you in the box. Marine's daughter says it should be education, not indoctrination. Correct. And we've seen their curriculums fail. You know what I mean? We've definitely seen the curriculums fail.
The DARE program? Have you seen the Livingston Man?
Yeah, they literally like showed you what all the drugs were and were like, don't do these, guys.
I found out that come to find out, there are not people that jump out of the shadows and are like, listen, kid, you need to do these drugs. No, I'm like, I don't have any money. They're like, doesn't matter. Here's some drugs. And then when I found out that that is not the case, I became that guy.
They always want you to pay for it.
So now what I do is jump out of shadows and give kids drugs because it was fake news and I had to correct it. So now...
I look like an extra from the Training Day movie. Hey.
He's handsome, all right.
Yeah.
I thought he looked like Ray Charles.
Yeah, you ever had your shit pushed in?
Well, the polite way to ask him is...
Well, that's straight from Training Day.
I thought it was something about like, may I push your stool in?
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah, that's rough.
You guys...
That was a good movie.
We got 3 minutes on the clock. This is our warning here.
Yeah, we all gonna die. Wednesday.
I want y'all to take away some of this stuff because we've been clowning a little bit, but I want to stress that...
yeah, we're probably not all gonna die tomorrow.
No, but the things that we come out passionately about, we do believe in the back of our minds. But a lot of what we say is for humor's sake and satire a little bit. But there is, I challenge y'all to think about what you think you know, or think even harder about the things you think you disagree with, and figure out why instead of just maybe your team didn't think it was cool, but what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing. You don't have to follow the crowd, guys. You don't have to follow the crowd. Go your own way. Do your own thing.
No, Livingston Man feeds drugs to tricks. Get it right. Me here. You here. Hunter 25 or something. Fuck that guy's name. Yeah, this fucking guy. Troll. 2 minute, 1 minute warning. That went by quick. I love you, all of
Blue
you guys.
Vandal, what's happening, my friend?
Listen, thank y'all for stopping by. I think we have a nice high number of concurrent viewers, which I love to see. It's validating. I can't stress enough how much I appreciate that y'all come through and listen to this bullshit that comes out of my mouth.
Bob has given us our send away question for the night. I think that's a great one. He wants to know if I have thought about what the ideal group size is in post SHTF grid down. And my answer is the whole neighborhood. It's going to take everybody's hands to make things a little easier. It's everybody. It's
Yeah,
everybody. You're going to need the whole neighborhood plus a couple guys from down the street.
I feel that. Yeah, that runs the gamut from the starting with the individual and ending with all of society. You know, ideally.
Yeah. Yep. It's got to be. It's got to be everybody, man. It's got to be everybody. So if you guys are still here, you're still chilling. If you enjoyed the stream, smash that like button for us. If you're new here, consider hitting the subscribe button. If we didn't run you away too fast. GMA Merkel, I know you're not a troll. You're all good, my friend. No worries, no worries. But thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Some random dude, God, I cringe every time I hear that "it takes a village" phrase because, you know, that freaking Clinton book.
The word village just automatically brings up like village idiot, and that's what they all call me, and I don't like it.
Lifeboat, what's happening?
Triggered!
But yeah, man, thank y'all so much for being here. We really appreciate you. Smash that like button if you don't mind. And we'll catch you on the next one. This is Hudson Valley Prep and Survival, and we out of here.